I was hunched over my desk in the wee hours of the morning here in Australia with an extra strong coffee waiting for the Nintendo Direct. To be honest, I wasn't really expecting much, but there were some great surprises. And one game that I was really excited for was the much beloved cult sequel, Goat Simulator 3. My mates and I laughed at the trailer and I knew I just had to cover it. What's it like? Eat some grass, prepare for mayhem, and get ready to hoof it from the cops as we review Goat Simulator 3 for Nintendo Switch. Before we get into this review, would you mind liking and subscribing? It really helps outlets like What's It Like get found on YouTube, and I'll think you're the GOAT if you do. Goat Simulator 3 had me hooked initially with the opening parody of Skyrim with, "Hey, you're finally awake." And it introduces a narrative about how you're the goat from the first game, don't bother looking for the second game, it actually doesn't exist, and your name is Pilgor. The farmer really wanted to keep you because after the events of the first game you're now famous, and after some hilarious exposition and fourth wall breaking, you are unleashed upon the world of San Angoria to kick, lick, headbutt, and pretty much destroy anything you like. The game's progression system is tied to quests and instincts, which are mini challenges you can do to earn points to unlock a magical door to your goat tower. Quests involve things like building your own car, training ballerinas which unleash a tornado into the world, and even nuking a town. Instincts are much smaller challenges that can be completed anywhere you like headbutting 5 people or driving a fire truck. To me, these challenges almost play out like finding the gaps in the Tony Hawk's game, and can be quite fun to unlock and find new challenges. Speaking of unlocks, there's plenty of items and outfits to find, as well as pop culture references littered throughout that will make you laugh with its humour and groan-inducing puns. You can customize Pilgor with all manner of items, abilities, and cosmetics, and it's rather humorous to see a goat in a tutu with a blowtorch running away from the police while blowing up everything it can. The laughs fade rather quickly, however, because, to put it bluntly, Goat Simulator 3 is an absolutely terrible port on the Nintendo Switch. With an egregious list of problems, I don't even know where to start. I guess to start, the biggest issue is probably that assets simply take forever to load in or don't load in at all. There were countless times when I got stuck on nothing and then a few seconds later a pole or stairs would load in. This happens to anything roughly 15 meters or so from Pilgor, so pop-in is horrendous. Even when syncing with the Goat Towers, which admittedly is a hilarious take on the Assassin's Creed Eagle Eye points, assets pop in or simply just don't load during the cutscenes. Another example of this is attending a concert where a crowd took 15 or so seconds to load in, as well as the band performing. It makes the game seem like it almost has no optimization or polish at all for the Nintendo Switch. Other bugs include hyperactive ragdoll physics, cars just flipping out of control, key cutscenes missing assets or broken animations. One such cutscene is when you nuke the town. The bomb hurtles towards Earth, but there's already a crater there because the tree didn't load in, and then when you detonate the bomb, the animation didn't load for me, so I just had a brown screen for a bit before some mushroom clouds appeared. Unfortunately, most events are like this, meaning the humour or the ridiculousness of the scene is completely wasted due to the broken optimization. Sound quality is also of a significantly reduced bitrate, making the voice acting sound grainy and cheap. Outside of the assets and animations, you can get stuck in interactions that prompt you to press X to exit, only to do nothing at all except forcing you to quit to the desktop. It seems to me like the port just needed more time to cook, but was rushed out to be available after this morning's Nintendo Direct. And this is such a shame because, at its core, Goat Simulator 3 is a funny, reference-laden, physics-based adventure that has an almost cult following. Despite these issues, I still had fun completing quests, and I laughed at a lot of the references. It's clear that Goat Simulator 3 is only a patch or way or two from being utterly enjoyable. And no, I'm not sorry for that pun. With all these problems, I still found hours of enjoyment causing mayhem. There's also a 2-player local drop-in drop-out co-op and online co-op, which I played alongside my daughter running amok. There were mini games to play like a Splatoon parody that sees you have to paint as many items as possible in a short amount of time. My daughter and I were giggling as she headbutted me around the boardwalk while painting people, kayaks and boxes. It's these small moments that make me see just how much potential there is in this wonderfully silly game, but the technical issues hinder it at almost every turn. For my goats looking into accessibility, there are several options you can change, like turning off motion blur, turning on camera smoothing, turning off the camera shakes, and adding subtitles. And all inputs can be rebounded for ease of use. Since the graphics can be muddy at times, my vision impaired goats may have a hard time discerning objects from the environment. The game doesn't have a minimap, but you can pin locations on the in-game map, which then guides you with an indicator at the top of the screen, making it easier to find and locate towers and objectives. As always, I recommend doing further research to find out if Goat Simulator 3 caters to your needs, and I encourage people to let me know what I can mention to help you make a more informed purchase in future reviews. If I could sum up how I feel about Goat Simulator 3 on the Switch in one word, it would be disappointed. Goat Simulator 3 on Nintendo Switch is a rushed, unpolished port, and it needs a lot of work before I could recommend it for purchase. It's marred by horrendous graphical issues like assets failing to load, it looks very average, and it's more expensive than its content-loaded counterparts on other formats. It's a shame because, at its core, Goat Simulator 3 is a fun, spirited game with plenty to do. But on Switch, it just currently feels like it's in alpha testing and is a frustrating, disappointing mess. For $40 Australian, you've got to be kidding me. I'll let myself out. So, what's it like? Goat Simulator 3 is like Goat Simulator 1. But Goatily in need of a patch. I award it a 58 out of 100. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.